All right, everyone, welcome back for another episode of Steaks with Mates. I'm your host, Health Coach Joff, and today I'm joined by Jin. He's from Korea, he's a chef, and welcome aboard for this episode. Thank you for taking your time of your day to come and speak with me and, share your story with others. So, how are you, man?
I'm good, Ray. Thank you. Yeah, but I'm really glad to be here. Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
It's my absolute pleasure. Just a quick introduction. I've been following Jin for some time on social media. I think it's great to see more Asians in the sort of keto carnivore space so
Yes.
that we can break these barriers in our own communities. And I'm sure you've got a story to tell, so I'm just going to let you go ahead and, tell us a little bit about yourself. So yeah,
Yes.
take it away, man.
Yeah. So I'm Jin from South Korea. I've been doing like a keto or carnivore about 5 to 6 years. So it's been quite a while. But it was difficult journey. What is right, what is wrong? Because there are a lot of information that confuses us, right? So I started keto because of my brain fog. Brain fog. I didn't have a lot of big issues, mostly brain fog, and I think I had a candida overgrowth. I never got diagnosed, but I think I had a candida overgrowth because I had an athletic foot on my right foot as well. So I was like searching through. I wanted to have a really clear mentality, as if I have a light bulb above my head all the time. But in the morning, I take a good sleep, 8 hours. But in the morning, I'm still tired. It doesn't make any sense, And I'm just questioning myself why I'm so tired. I couldn't do anything, and I was researching, and somehow on YouTube I found ketogenic diet. Okay, what is this? I was searching through the videos, and at first it didn't make sense because I thought that carbohydrate was essential. Without carb, I die. My brain doesn't function. But watching those videos and scientific data, oh, so it looks like a lot of people doing it. So I'm gonna hop on it. Looks like a lot of people have a good mental clarity. So I just started without much knowledge right off the bat, but that caused me a lot of side effect because I didn't have much information, and I started the diet overnight. And it caused me some diarrhea, vomiting, stomach pain, and also I had on during ketogenic diet I didn't have an oxalate dumping issue, but when I started carnivore diet, like probably a month later, I started having oxalate dumping issue. So that's why I'm not doing strict carnivore diet, because even 5 years now, I still actually a couple days ago, I had a oxalate dumping issue, so I had to drink some black tea, things like that, and then my brain fog and the symptoms just lowered a little bit. Yeah. So that's how I started. Like I didn't have big issue, luckily, but mainly a brain fog. But it helped me a lot. Yeah. So I can't think about going back to eating normal food, and feel like I'm tired all the time. I can't even focus. I need caffeine all the time. I just can't go back.
That's amazing, man. I think,
Yeah.
the brain fog is something that not a lot of people understand very
Yes.
well because they're so used to it. Um,
Yes.
is this something that, was an issue when, you were working a lot? I can imagine being busy and sometimes, fatigue. Did you always
Yeah.
used to get a lot of brain fog as a chef?
Not all the time, because especially chefs work late night.
Yeah.
Right? So we wake up late, and in the morning, if I let's say I wake up and if I just do some movement, little exercise, I feel better, like less brain fog. But I stay indoor, trying to like study or something like that. I can't do anything. Like I lie down in my bed and I'm trying to sleep because I'm tired, but I can't fall asleep. Just like I was struggling so much with this. Especially it happened to me when I was early 20, because early 20 I was working at a cafe. So cafe, they have donuts and cookies for free. As a young kid for
Yeah, yeah.
free. It's like I ate it every single day. I think that was the worst time, like worst brain fog I ever had. Like when I was working at a cafe. Yeah.
Crazy,
And then
crazy.
yeah, and during work, it's okay because you're moving. You have a like cortisol spike, whatever. But middle of a sudden, you're it hits like I'm so tired. Like I need to crash. I need to sleep. Like middle of the working hours. But now,
Wow.
like I don't really have that much.
Crazy, right? It's crazy because you're right. You always thought that carbohydrates, and I always believed that carbs were essential.
Yes.
Not even from my medical training, but from my culture. I don't know
Yeah.
what it's like. Actually, I think I know what it's like in Korea. Oh, you have to
Yeah.
eat
Yeah.
rice and veggies.
Yeah.
It's the same in the Philippines. It's always about you need rice for energy.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's so funny that that turned out to be quite wrong because I don't know if you experienced it, man. But how has your energy since going keto or carnivore?
My energy level is very steady. Steady. Yeah. Yeah. But the thing is, because sometimes when I had a candida overgrowth, even if I eat carnivore, I would have a little bit of brain fog, because
Yeah.
of something going on in my gut. But
Mm.
if I compare, with the Western standard or Asian standard, heavy amount of rice or a lot of sugar, I just can't compare, because I know the difference now. I thought that was normal,
Yeah.
now, so it's impossible to go back because I know the difference.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I guess I became a lot healthy during traveling Vietnam. I was eating like banh mi, like other stuff, even carb. But I feel okay actually, most of the
Mm.
times. I
Mm.
think that's the signs that I got healthier.
Yeah. Yeah. That was 5 years ago you started. So that was like when things started to really, um, hit the internet. Like, so you would
Yes,
have watched,
right.
like Dr. Sean Baker. Who else
Yeah,
were you following at the time?
that's how I started carnivore. But before that, I watched Eric Burr, but that was a
Yep.
little bit
Yep.
of trouble, yeah, because of 7 cups of vegetables.
Yeah.
That
But it
got
was the
me.
start.
Yeah, that was
Mm.
start. Yeah, that was start. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I was eating too much nuts and a little
Yeah.
bit too much vegetables. That was the problem. So 1 year of eating high oxalate foods, and I'm
Oh,
suffering for 5 6 years. Yeah,
oh man. You know
it's
what?
not.
You just that really clicks in with me because I did the high oxalate stuff as well, and
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry, I cut you off. You were going to talk about oxalate dumping.
yeah. Oxalate, but the worst symptoms was rhinitis. I used to have a like seasonal rhinitis problem, but
Yeah.
during oxide dumping, and years ago I didn't know what it was like, but I kept on like carnivore diet. Like the all I had to do is just ingesting a little bit of oxide food, right? But I
Yeah.
didn't know it, so I just like went through. I couldn't breathe at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah,
It's
it's
very
crazy.
tough. I know, and it's hard because it's not common. People don't know about it. I don't know any of my friends or family that even know what oxalates are.
No, no, not
Hmm.
at all. I lately I post on my Instagram that do not like the oxides are dangerous. There are comments. Oh, I thought that on media the almond says that it's the healthiest food in the world, like number one.
Yeah. 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 Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. So take us through, man. So you went, uh, you did the carnivore diet and you experienced your health benefits. But what did people around you feel about this? Because this is out of the norm for a lot of
Yes. Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
So how
Actually,
did how did people? Yeah, sorry, go
there's
ahead.
a funny story. Before I start keto diet, one of my friend, which is he's from Sweden, he was doing keto diet, and I see his plates no carbs. I'm like, this guy's crazy. He said this is right before I started keto. I
Mm,
was like, that's crazy. You must eat carbs. And now I'm doing it anyway. Around my friends, so I actually around my friends, but they're not gonna give up like carbs and anything like that. But they understand the animal food is very important, nutritious. Vegetables are not healthy, so they take advice. So they try to eat more meat, and then they actually have experienced that when they lower the carbs, they lose weight really really easily. I was like one of my friends, they had a big belly, And then I told him just do not eat too much rice or anything like the carbs, and then eat more meat, fat, that you will lose weight naturally. Yeah, months later, it just was gone. But now they're gaining back again because of their eating habits. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's not
that
easy.
important thing is yeah. But they experience, they know it now. They know it. That's better. That matters, right?
That absolutely, yeah. Once you try it and you experience the benefits, it's like, oh, now I know.
Yeah.
If I eat something, if I go off the diet, it's
Yeah.
gonna hit you hard. Yeah.
Yeah. And the hardest part is convincing my parents, because my father is a type 2 diabetic patient. He has a lot of issues like rheumatoid arthritis, and he does not understand why. I tell him do not eat a lot of vegetables, especially
Mm.
oxalate, vegetables. But he doesn't understand why I have pain, And he's telling me sometimes when he's not eating for a little while, which is fasting. He
Mm.
says that, oh, my pain's a little bit released. I That that's the sign that what you're ingesting causing inflammation, pain. But it's so sad that I don't think my father will ever do like strict carnivore diet. But as I came back, their diets got much better. We got rid of seed oil. They
Mm.
focus on eating a lot of eggs and animal food, but still on the table. We have some brown, like not brown rice, some grains and some vegetables, because in Asia we eat a lot of vegetables, right? Yeah, especially in Korea, we have at least we have like fermented vegetables,
Yes.
but it has a lot of chilies in it, so it
Yeah.
may cause inflammation, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the hardest part, convincing my parents. Yeah,
I know the feeling, man. It's very tough, but I think you're doing a good job, especially if it's, even just the small things like the seed oils. Oh
yeah,
my
yeah,
gosh. Yeah, it's something that I didn't realize. I thought seed oils, oh, it's just the cooking oil,
yes,
that we
yeah,
use for cooking. But if you look at all the packaged foods, every one of they all contain seed oils. So I think
yeah,
it's very important to start small. Um, you know, it, with my own parents, I know that they're not gonna they're not gonna go carnivore. I know that
yeah, yeah,
it might take some time. I
yeah.
shouldn't say they're not gonna go carnivore, but it might take a long time for them to understand it and to accept it. But um, yeah, that's cool that you're getting your parents on board. What about your friends and family? What do they think about cutting out rice in the diet?
No,
Is this
they
something?
don't see me. They don't see me as a craze, because also in Korea we pay attention on health a lot.
Good.
So yeah, generally we now, even mainstream doctors say that lowering carb is a good thing. They don't say
Good.
that eliminate carbs like 100%, but then we
Yeah.
understand that people understand that lowering carbs and not controlling your blood sugar level is very important. But it causes another problem, because they go for like grains, the whole grains, brown rice, because it doesn't spike the blood
Yeah.
sugar level as much as a white rice. So but I think it's getting better. It's getting,
Yes.
and we don't have a lot of medical professionals that promote carnivores or keto, but we have some, but it's growing. Yeah, it's growing
Yeah.
slowly. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think what we need is a lot of medical doctors who advocate in keto or carnivore, so our parents will listen, because they listen to authorities. You know,
Yes.
'Cause I
Yes.
talk to my parents, and we have like a TV show. We call them like show doctors. Like
Yeah.
they come out on the TV show promoting whole grains, and after the TV show there is a commercial going on. It's the money,
Yes.
money is related, and my mom is watching. I told my mom that like grains or almonds are bad for you, and then she's like, oh, but look, the doctor is saying it's good. Also, she's confused. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's very hard too because especially I think not just in the culture but the generation, the older
Yeah,
generation, it's very hard for them to, if you're not a doctor or if you're not an authority, it's hard for me to listen
yeah,
to what you're saying because these doctors are telling me,
yeah.
eat vegetables, it's good for you. But
I
yeah,
don't
you're
have a
right. I
medical
think
degree. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
But it's so funny because I say, well, what does your doctor? I tell people all the time, what does your doctor look like? Do they look like they're healthy?
Yes.
Because I've
That's
seen a
right.
lot of
Yeah, yeah.
doctors, and a lot of doctors. Well, I know for a fact, that
Yeah,
not
you're a
all,
nurse.
not all of them are a reflection of health. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's cool to hear that Korea is moving that direction. Um,
Yes.
I can see that on Instagram,
Hmm.
maybe on other platforms too. I'm not on TikTok, but on
Yeah.
Instagram, there's so much. Uh, you know, there's a lot of growing influencers from these Asian countries.
Yes.
Recently I've been having quite a fair amount of Indonesians
Oh, really?
on social media. Yeah, yeah, and I thought that's so cool because
That's interesting.
now we are seeing the movement grow, and now it's not weird because 5 years ago it was weird for a lot of
Yes. Yes.
Asians. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Because I see on Instagram, like I see that, rice is my life.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it's not. Right? You can't enjoy your life without rice. I mean, you could eat it sometimes, time to time, but
yeah, yeah,
this is like so much brainwash. It was their entire life.
yeah,
Eating rice morning, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So
yeah.
it's just a pattern. It's really hard to break the pattern, I think.
It is so hard, and it's gonna take some time, but you're right,
Yeah.
it's moving in the right direction because I think it started with Steak and Butter Girl. That was the first
Hmm.
Asian I saw, and i
Yeah.
saw i saw a lot of the hate in her comments. I
Yes.
thought
Yeah.
this is good, this is what we need more people
Yeah.
to pave the way. So I really admire Bella for doing that because now Asians everywhere are looking and think, oh yeah, there's that girl that eats butter off the stick,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
it's starting to grow. But now in the chef in the food industry that you work
Yes.
in, tell us more
I'm not.
about
I'm not.
how.
Yeah. I'm not a chef anymore, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, not a chef anymore. Okay, but
Yeah.
I
I
guess
quit.
oh, you quit.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Interesting.
quit. Yeah. Yeah.
Recently or just a
It's
while
been a
ago?
while. 2 years or something like that. 2 3 years. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
Well, that's still quite recent. But
Yeah.
talk us through, you, that would have been. Were you a chef when you started keto or carnivore at that
No,
time?
no, no, no. Before that, yeah. But while I was doing keto, I was also working in the restaurant and the
Okay, yeah.
food business. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So, how is it like? I guess if you were to look at this industry, how hard would it be to, or what are the challenges doing keto or carnivore as a chef? Because I know there are going to
You
be
can't.
challenges.
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't do it. You have to quit your job.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because when you, I mean, if you work for a ketogenic restaurant, I think in Australia there's one chef who's doing like keto style of cuisine.
Mm.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. But other than that, it's real difficult because every time you make food, every time you serve food, you have to taste it.
Mm.
And it'll contain uh, grains or sugar, things like that. Like that's something you don't want it. So you have to
Mm.
taste all the time, and then especially frying, deep frying. Everything is fried in seed oil. Everything. So it's a you have to make choice, and that was my choice. Not working as a chef because I couldn't work as a chef because I know that I believe that these foods are toxic and I'm not ingesting it. But to make more money, uh, I make this food and deliver to people. That's not right, right?
Wow.
And I could I had to do it for a little while because I have to live life. I need money, you know. But I just couldn't do it for my morality and also myself.
That's amazing, man. I commend you for that because that's not easy to quit a job. Because like you said, your life, your income depends on it. So, if you don't mind me asking, what do you do now?
It's like YouTube, Instagram. Try to make also on this Carni Jin Instagram. My
Nice.
plan is I'm making healthy food, like healthy processed food, like beef, jerky or chicharron, things like that. You know, healthy
Nice, nice.
bacon. Yeah, because using my chef knowledge, I just
Yeah.
started. So I just but also one of my friend does a Texas barbecue, so that's why I have some Texas barbecue videos, and
Yeah.
he's helping me.
That is so, that's very inspiring because you're right. It's very hard to do something that you know that it's not going to be the best for people.
Yeah,
But now you're turning it to something that you believe is right and
yeah.
is going to help people. So that is hats off to you, man.
Thank you.
Um, you said you also travel the world in terms of your profession as a chef or your job as a
Yeah,
chef.
yeah.
Um, you know, any places in particular that you think, oh, this is actually quite a meat heavy country like that. Actually, you can consider carnivore because I always thought like Korea actually it's a meat heavy culture, right?
Yes, yeah. Korean barbecue. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So anywhere else in the world?
I mean, absolutely Australia. Australia probably the best place. you know,
Yeah.
you know. But except Australia, I think if you go well developed countries, you can. It's your choice. You can be carnivore, or if you make the right choices. I was in Thailand for 8 months. Of course, sometimes I'm falling off, you know, but I couldn't follow carnivore diet 100%. But I
Mm-hmm.
tried. I tried. You can buy like Australian grass-fed beef in
Mm-hmm.
Thailand grocery mall. They have a like everything like just like other countries. They have a mall. If you go to mall, you can buy meat, steak, whatever, butter. They have everything. They're cheap, but like imported stuffs are a little bit expensive in Thailand. But somehow the grass fed beef was more cheaper than grain fed. So it wasn't that bad for 250 grams of grass fed ground beef was probably like less than $10. Yeah,
Oh, that's not bad at all. That's not
yeah,
bad.
yeah. It's
Mm.
not bad. Yeah, yeah. And eggs are
Mm.
cheap. But
Mm.
sometimes if you go out and eat, and that's where a problem happens. But at least they're not using seed oil; they use palm oil, but refined palm oil.
Refined.
Yeah.
I was
Probably a
gonna
little bit,
say.
a little bit better than the seed oil, a little bit.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It is. Yeah. That I whenever I speak to a lot of my Asians that you know and they ask me for, oh, what should I use if I'm not using seed oils? What should I cook with? I always just tell them, coconut oil, and they all say, oh, yeah, that's what we used to cook with. We used to cook with
Yeah,
coconut
yeah,
oil for a
yeah,
long time ago. I said,
yes.
yeah, that's much better than the seed
Yeah,
oils.
yeah.
Yeah,
Use like a real palm oil or coconut
yeah,
oil.
yeah, yeah,
Animal fat
um,
butter.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So what does your diet look like right now?
Right now, so I'm because I'm staying at my parents' house.
Yeah.
I usually eat like a lot of eggs, and I love pork belly. Koreans love
Mm.
pork belly. The best thing I think is better than beef, to be honest with you. So I eat a lot of pork belly, beef, everything. Like yesterday, daily, I think I'm eating almost like 20 eggs now.
Wow, wow.
Yeah, yeah. It's crazy because as I like work out more, my appetite goes up. Like if I don't
Mm.
work out, if I don't move much, 6 eggs will fill my stomach. But now, like 10 eggs, not enough. I need to eat more. Yeah,
Amazing.
and
I don't think
yeah,
I can do 20. You say 20 eggs?
yeah, 20 eggs a day. So I eat 2 meals a day.
Ooh.
Yeah, 2 meals. Yeah. So I break my fast probably 10 or 11ish, 11ish.
Mm.
And I eat like 10 eggs, sometimes 10 eggs, 10 eggs plus other little bit cuts of meat, leftover,
Mm, mm.
whatever. And then I eat kimchi, of course, some fermented
Nice, of
vegetables,
course.
and
Yeah.
yeah. And my parents do farm, so they get fresh vegetables. So
Yeah.
they have a lot of lettuce. So I find that lettuce are like okay vegetables to consume during the season. So I eat a
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
bit, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much my diet. Yeah,
That's pretty good, man. That's
Yeah.
awesome. But are you not worried about your cholesterol with 20 eggs?
Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Well, at least I'm strong.
That's so
That's
funny.
all matters. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's really cool, man. So you must. So you were saying as well. You work out as well. You exercise. What else are you doing with your health in terms of uh, trying to live healthy?
Uh, like I usually when I'm on my computer, I wear these glasses, and
Nice.
then at night I have a red one, and I
Yes.
have a red light bulb, so it's like a red light district.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then I try to. So as soon as I wake up, I try to get outside and walk like 30 minutes to 1 hour. A little bit of like exercise, shadow boxing, jumping around,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And during afternoon, I try to go outside as well, but
Yeah.
it doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sometimes it gets
And
busy.
then and then exercise probably 3 to 4 times a week. Yeah, because
Mm.
my one of my some of my haters on my Instagram that calling me I'm
Oh.
skinny. I'm skinny,
Oh. Let's get into this.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
skinny. So I try to build muscles because I used to because last 1 year I was doing Muay Thai. So when you are doing Muay Thai, you're not gonna be like as big as a bodybuilder,
Ah.
doing bodybuilding stuff. So they're calling me skinny. So okay, I'll prove to you. Without carbs, I'm gonna build muscles and I'll prove. That's my so currently that's my goal. Just building muscles without carbs. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, it can be done. I so when I went carnivore the first year, I didn't train in the gym at all,
Yeah.
and I was, I was very skinny. Actually, my skinniest I've ever been. Really
Yeah.
slim, but I did a 3 month program. So I used to
Mhm.
compete in powerlifting. I used to do powerlifting.
Oh, nice.
So I said, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna prove to myself that I can get back into the gym. Three
Yeah.
months, man. In 3 months, I got myself back in really good shape. Like I put
Awesome.
on. I was so surprised that how
Yeah.
fast it is
Hmm.
to put muscle on it. But it
Yeah.
makes sense, right? I mean, you're eating so much protein. That's what
Yeah.
your body needs to.
Yeah.
Mm,
Because
mm.
in bodybuilding community, they think that carbs, you must eat carbs. Without carb, you can't build muscles. But I'm saying, what's special magic ingredient in carbs? Like,
Nothing.
for muscle synthesis, you need amino acid, fatty acid, right?
Yeah,
Not carb. I
yeah,
mean, you need excess energy. That's where
mm,
the fat comes in, right?
yeah, yeah,
But as long as excess energy comes in, you can build muscles. Like, I know. I think it's a little bit difficult because the carb is white rice is more easy to eat. You can just shove in your mouth
yeah,
more.
yeah, yeah.
That's the only benefit. Sometimes eating too much fat, like for bulking, it can be challenging. You know what I mean?
I yeah, yeah. And I think what people have to understand is that if we're talking bodybuilding,
Yeah, yeah.
come
Pure
come on,
bodybuilding. Yeah,
come on, guys. You have to
yeah.
be blind to
Hmm.
not realize that a lot of these guys are on performance enhancing.
Yeah, injecting. Yeah, stuff.
You
Good
know what I
stuff.
mean? Like you have to.
Yeah,
And this is the thing. Like I have nothing against bodybuilding, and I think it's got its place. Awesome sport. These physiques look
yeah.
amazing, and there are carnivore bodybuilders that
Yes.
are I'm really close with as well.
Yeah.
But I think people have to realize that that's not natural. You know,
Not at all.
no, it's not natural. Most people will never get that physique.
Hmm. No, no. And also, you need some genetic. It's like
Yeah,
not everyone. Yeah, even if you get inject, not everyone will reach the level or like 10, 20 years of exercise. Like like let's say 100 people do the same diet, same exercise. Everyone have
yeah.
a different outcome because of their genetic, right?
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
And the thing is too, like to get down to under. Have you ever been below 5% body fat and maintain that all year, that is
That's crazy.
challenging. I
Yeah,
could never do it. So I think there's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to body image, because a lot of
yeah,
these fitness people, they say,
yeah.
you know, this is healthy, this is what healthy looks like.
Hmm.
Guys,
Yeah,
it's not. It's
yeah.
not.
I think I also blame bodybuilding a little bit
Hmm.
because especially like young people, giving young people idea that the unreachable the body image that's in their
Hmm.
it's in their mind, so
Yeah.
the young people injecting the testosterone, or when they see other people just naturally training,
Yeah.
who's a netty, they
Yeah.
think that they're just a skinny,
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's uncomparable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll give
And
you an
then
example.
yeah,
Sorry, go on, go on.
I'll say that because also they're like in social media there's a tactics to look bigger, like lights and all the editing. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
It's not real.
yeah.
It's a fake.
Absolutely. You know what? This is gonna be funny for you, because
Yeah.
when Physical 100 came out, you know, the Netflix series with the in Korea, Physical 100,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
everyone was debating, are these guys natural? I'm like, guys, come on.
No. No, I'm Korean. Yeah, some of them are not natural at all. Yeah.
Oh, I know, you can tell which ones are not natural.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, like, it's motivating. Don't get me wrong. I think fitness and workout and sorry, hypertrophy training for muscles,
Yeah.
it is beneficial. But
It is.
for these young people that aspire to, you know, these bodybuilders and think that
Yeah.
this is healthy, I think that's wrong.
Yes.
I much prefer bodybuilders actually say outright that this is not a natural sport. And I
Hmm.
know a handful of bodybuilders that actually do say that this is
Yeah.
not natural living, and you
Hmm.
shouldn't, you know, go for it. But yeah, I just remember the arguments I was having with people. Like, guys, you know, the guys that you see on Physical 100, they're
Yeah.
bodybuilders. Some of them are
Yeah.
bodybuilders.
Yeah.
They're gonna be taking drugs. You know, they need to.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's part of the
They have
sport.
to. Yeah. Yeah. It's like unless you compete in natural bodybuilding competition, I mean,
Oh
even
man, even
natural
natural,
bodybuilding
yeah,
competition, they take it. Yeah. Now we really don't know who's taking steroid or not. Even from like blood work, it's like because
yeah,
they know how to avoid it.
yeah, exactly. I mean, you can do a natural body composition. I think if you know, like they say it's natural and it's tested, but you know, these guys could be doing performance enhancing drugs, you know,
Yeah.
a year before, maybe a year before,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, or you know, they're not lifetime naturals. But anyways,
Yeah.
that's you know, that's another topic for another day.
Yeah.
Um, so if I go to Korea right now, and
Mhm.
if I wanted to do a carnivore diet, is that
Yeah.
achievable?
Achievable, but it can be tricky because you know we a lot of keto or carnivores we rely on imported meat like
Okay.
Australia, South America, because these products are cheaper. The Korean kettles are very expensive, just like a
Really?
wagyu. Yeah, because from the birth they are eating grains. They never see the pasture land. They're just locked up in the farm, walking on their shit
Hmm.
poops. Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
and maybe they eat like haze, like dry grass, something like that. But they eat a lot of grain. That's why like Korean beef is really expensive and a lot of marbling. So it's not easy to do. You could do it because you can go to like any supermarket and you can buy Australia beef, but it'll be a
Hmm.
little bit expensive than buying online. Yeah, but absolutely it's achievable. Yeah.
Interesting. Because yeah, it's funny that you say it's cheaper to get the grass fed stuff. I would have thought it would be cheaper to go with grain fed, because you know, you can
Mhm.
mass produce it. But okay.
Because
Um.
grains are more expensive. Yeah,
Ah, I see. I
yeah,
see.
yeah,
I
yeah,
see.
yeah. Grass fed are supposed to be cheaper because grass is free. you know.
I guess so. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
very
But
true.
also in South Korea, it's hard to get grass fed beef. You have to actually research what types of brand is grass fed or not. So
Yeah.
you really have to research in South Korea. And then I heard that there was documentary because the Koreans prefer the grain fat, the high fat content.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
so Australians farmers industry when they export, they feed them more grains
Yeah.
to make it more fatter. Yeah.
So that's what they
For,
do. The grain
yeah,
feed
yeah,
for the
yeah,
other grain feed for the other countries.
yeah. More. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. And you've had experience as well, living in a farm and working in a farm as well. Tell us
Yes.
about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it was so during COVID, I didn't want to delay anything, so I actually ran away, and then also I wanted to have experience in the farm, so where the food comes from, you know.
Yeah.
But it wasn't commercial farm; it was a community farm, very small farm. It's like a small scale of like communism. It's like a little village. Yeah, I would say that. Yeah. But there's some 5 or 10 people living, and then
Okay.
they live here and there in the compound, and everyone works like weekly, but not like 8 hours. You work
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 hours daily. That you have a task, and then let's say when we slaughter a cow, we all share. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. It was amazing. So my duty was feeding chooks and ducks, and
Yeah.
sometimes milking in the morning. Like as soon as you wake up, you call the cow, and then the cow is actually waiting. Yeah, where you milk, and then you
Yeah.
just milk, and then you put your head on the cows. So that's really nice. It's in the morning when it's cold, it's nice and warm. You use the milk. You milk, and sometimes you
Wow.
drink the milk. Yeah, yeah, and then because I was lucky enough, in I don't know any other people know about it. It's called mobile butcher. Have you heard of mobile butcher? So
Oh
the mobile
yeah,
butcher,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. They go to farm, and then
yeah,
they
and they
they
slaughter.
shoot,
Yeah.
yeah, slaughter.
Yes.
It was
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that before. And also I worked for him for a little while.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow. So you got used to. So you actually had the experience of butchering and processing your own beast.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very
Yeah.
interesting.
So
How does
also,
that how does that change you? How does it change your mindset now? Like
even before that, I was ready. Like I wanted to try. I wanted to like.
yeah,
It sounds like a psychopath, but I wanted to like slit the throat of the sheep and stuff like that. I want to
yeah,
feel that like a caveman.
yeah, yeah,
And then I remember when I was slaughter the chickens and stuff like that. I felt like energetic. I feel like this. I had so much fun and adrenaline
yeah, yeah.
and
Oh,
it was an interesting moment.
I think it makes it real because if whether you like it or not, that's what we had to do, right?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what
Yeah,
our ancestors had to do.
yeah,
I was exposed to slaughtering at a very young age because in the
yeah,
Philippines,
yeah.
I don't know if you know lechon, the pig.
I know. I really want to try that one.
The
The
pig,
crisps.
oh yeah, yeah, very crispy pork. So that was very common for us. If we're having a party,
Yeah,
it's so I got to experience that at a young age. But I think it makes it real that yes, it's you can say it's cruel, of course, like
yes,
it's not a nice thing, but that's how we had to obtain our nutrition. Our
yes,
ancestors would have had
yeah,
to do that.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
no choice. But I think that's really awesome because I do want to have that experience too to
Hmm.
process and actually be involved in butchering the
Yeah.
cow. Yeah,
If I go back to Australia, you can come down with me in New South Wales.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely. I know I've got a few friends that go hunting as well, so
yeah.
they hunt and they obviously have that experience. But that's awesome that you got to experience both being in the kitchen, working as
Yes,
a
yeah,
chef, and also
yeah,
seeing where the food comes from.
yeah.
Yeah,
Also, the butcher guy, who I was working for, he has
yeah,
he loves Instagram, so he posting like a lot of graphic stuff. The
Oh man. Well,
vegans love him. Yeah,
oh, do they now?
yeah, yeah.
Oh man. Um, who are your top three influencers on social media that have helped you as a person?
Oh, I would say Sean Baker. Yeah, because of him, I started carnivore diet, and yeah, I believe his carnivore book is a very simple, and everyone
Hmm.
it's like without any medical degree, anything like that, you can understand very easily.
Yes.
I love Mary Roddick.
Yes.
Yeah, I love her contents, and I think she's really intelligent. I think if you ask her any question, I think she has answers. I love watching her podcast. And one day I wanna talk to her.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah. And third, Anthony Chap. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Amazing. That's an awesome top three. I like to shout out to these big influencers that have helped us because if it wasn't for them, we
Right.
would have been stuck doing the same things because
Yes.
this is not a it's not easy to go against what the mainstream are saying. So
Yeah,
no,
that's
it's
right.
good.
And also, that's what I'm trying to do in South Korea. Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about that, man. Like you talk about your haters. Do you get a lot of
Yeah.
hate? Do you get a lot of hate? I can't understand the comments because I
Yeah,
don't
yeah, yeah,
read.
yeah. I
You
mean,
know,
there are the haters that see like all my videos. I don't understand. If
yeah.
you hate me, why are you watching my videos?
Are these
The
Koreans? These
niggas-
are
yeah,
Koreans?
yeah, yeah, Korean because I do contents in Korean.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah,
majority of people are like shocked, because that's what they heard in their life was like, oh, this like grains are healthy, almonds are
yeah,
healthy,
yeah,
those
yeah,
superfood. But I'm saying that these superfood are like not superfood. Eat saturated fat. Eat a lot of animal fat. Their
yeah,
whole believing system is flipped.
yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah,
but I'm glad that some people actually listen to me because I'm nobody. I'm not trained. I'm not educated, anything like that. I'm just a normal dude, who loves Muay Thai, you know.
yeah.
But that's why like it gives me motivation. I need to study further to give them proper information
Hmm.
and share this information because this is gonna help people, you know.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that I actually got to chat to you because knowing this, the story behind your channel, because all I see is this a Korean guy that's talking about oxalates and vegetables being bad, but it's a
Yeah.
really good backstory because if no one is gonna do it, it's just gonna keep everyone's gonna keep doing the same thing,
Yes.
and I don't know what the public health like is in Korea, but I'm pretty sure it's the same all over the world. But
Almost the same.
you
Yeah.
know, it's getting worse, right? Like
Yes.
we live in a sick world. Everyone is sick.
Hmm.
They're either fat or metabolically unhealthy,
Yeah.
and no one no one is questioning it until they start seeing others do it as
Yeah.
well. So, man, congratulations, dude. You're doing so well. I
Thank you.
think
Yeah.
um, what's the future looking like for you? Is there any plans
I
that
plan.
you're looking?
I wanna grow this channel as well, but also uh, like I want to do what you're doing. Like I want to interview other people or experts. Getting stories and more information because I can't I can spread all the information and the knowledge. So
Mm.
I want to talk to experts and you know uh, listening to their knowledge
Yeah,
and
yeah,
growing my like food business. So I
yes,
produce more healthy food, health choices. I even, I'm not gonna be like only making carnivore food. Like so, for example, when I was in, I think in Australia too.
yeah,
When I was in Thailand, they have potato chips cooked in
yeah,
olive oil or coconut oil.
yeah,
I'll eat that sometimes.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, it's a lot healthier choice than eating potato chips cooked in seed oil
yeah.
in general.
Absolutely, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Also for money, but I think
Of
it's
course.
a lot healthy choice. Health choice. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree, man.
Mm.
Look, I think we need to just cut out. If people are very passionate about carnivore, and
Yeah.
they believe in it. That's fine, but
Mhm.
at the end of the day, we're all human as well. Like there's
Yeah, because
no
not everyone is going to do carnivore diet, and also
no
I
exactly.
follow Western Enterprise Foundation dietary
Yeah,
guideline. I
yeah,
think that's a good dietary guideline for everyone,
yeah,
for
yeah,
like healthy people. Yeah,
yeah. No, I like that.
yeah,
Yeah, not everyone is gonna do carnivore, and not everyone,
yeah,
it's not gonna be easy for everyone. But
yeah.
we have to do, we have to talk about the small improvements that they can make.
Yes,
So I think
yes,
that
yeah,
that's really good, man. So where can people find you in social media? I'll post it on the show notes
yeah,
with this
yeah.
video. Yeah, so tell us where they can find you.
So on Instagram, it's carni.jin. And on YouTube, I'm not doing much on YouTube, but I'm planning to. So you can just search Carni Jin. Yeah, you can find me. I'm not on TikTok. I'm trying. Maybe I should
It's hard.
TikTok dance or something like that.
Maybe, maybe, or you can eat like the big steak
Yeah,
and
throw me the TikTok dance.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good. So you're on Instagram, and yeah, that's where I've been following you mostly. So,
Yeah, yeah,
for those who are watching, please, yeah, subscribe to Jin's YouTube channel and also follow him on Instagram.
yeah.
Um, any final words to the people who are watching? Maybe words of advice.
Yeah, I would say I always say that I wanted to say earlier, but I didn't want to cut you off. But I gotta say that to be humble, you gotta sick at least once. Then you know how important your health is. Without being sick, you don't know how precious that being healthy is. But if you're smart enough before you get sick, be healthy, so you don't have to go through the horrible times in your life.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome message, man. I think, yeah, uh, totally relatable for a lot of people. And, I'm excited to see what's the future for your platform, because I think you'll be doing a lot of
Thank
good
you.
things. Yeah. So, thank you again for your precious time. And
Thank you very
for
much.
those who are watching, uh, continue to support this podcast by following me on Instagram and on YouTube. But until then, we'll see you in the next episode.